Okay, chapter 15. This is the 8th week of her dual internship and Labor Day weekend, 1990. It has been a whirlwind of 2 months for Eriko. She went from adjusting to being an adult without her mom and younger sibling by her side. Although her father was her co-sign for her lease on her apartment, she was able to get full control of the position as a tenant. At the clinic, she learned more in 2 months than Kim did in 10 years. Granted, a lot more money has been put into research about various medical conditions. And the studio's accountant pulled Eriko aside since Chiaki's cooking stroke was her idea. They would increase her hourly rate. At this time, she gave Eriko her next paycheck. After they shot the pilot episode, Chiaki wants to modify it to reflect their health journey. As a result, Jonathan reached out to Pedar for medical advice. Pedar reached out to local endometriosis specialist. As a result, they got the professional advice to put a disclaimer on every episode, making certain none of their viewers would use these episodes as a substitute for expert medical advice. Instead, they are to talk to their healthcare professional before making any changes to the way they prepare the meals. When they reached out to the television station, they agreed to the modification. As a result, Eriko helped the studio's crew reshoot the pilot episode that week. Although it was fun having Chiaki at the studio, Eriko made certain to stay professional, keep the clinic information separate from what's going on at the studio. In addition, the studio has been helping her put her demo tape together for her college admissions application. They had Eriko come up with more skits. After they went to the editing room, they realized that they have created a one-woman show. At this time, they decided to add the dance instructor who specializes in dance therapy. The first lesson started on the first day of September. Eriko was floored that dance can be used to help people who are going through a tough time. Almost immediately, she can feel the healing power of dance. Thus, she decided to add dance therapy to her demo tape. Before each lesson, she honed in on one of her emotional pains from her childhood and used that day's dance lesson to start healing from it. Also, another thing that she's been dreading is the upcoming visit from her mother and aunt. Just an FYI, some of you may not know this background information. In Japan, divorce is actually much quicker. A person wanting a divorce goes to the local provincial government, completes paperwork, signs it. There isn't any need for a lawyer or the court system. So the reason why her mom had to return to the United States is because her name is on her father's income tax documents. In order for her to pay only Japan's income tax, she would have to get a divorce in Japan. Then she has to go to the United States to fill out their paperwork to get her name off her father's legal documents. This gave Eriko pause. If Eriko decides to get married, she should get married in Japan. Granted, no one wants a divorce, However, getting married in Japan will make the process smoother if she needs a divorce. Plus, the United States does recognize marriages that happen outside the country. So Eriko's parents did get married in Japan, so the divorce was just a matter of signing a piece of paper. So she puts on the back burner as well. Other than the letter from Kaoru, Eriko has not received any communication from her mom nor her relatives in Japan. Granted, they have a lot to process when her mom and Kaoru suddenly showed up. Told them they're temporarily returning to Japan. So they had to quickly set up grandmother's house for their mother's return. Plus, their aunt who lives in the big city had to add a separate bedroom for Kaoru. It was just aunt, her husband, and their child in a one-bedroom apartment. All of a sudden, they had one more mouth to feed and raise. Plus, it was a huge culture shock for her mom. She went from using the family car to run errands to walking up the hill to the family's plot, harvesting her own fresh fruits and vegetables. Also, she had to walk to the neighborhood grocery store. And since they don't have a car, she had to walk to the store daily for supplies. And if they need anything else, such as gardening supplies, she has to take the ferry to the nearest town. Not surprisingly, she lost a lot of weight, but she gained a lot of muscular legs as a result. Moreover, the fresh ocean air made her lungs strong. As the day turns into months, she slowly acclimated to the countryside of Japan. In the back of her mind, she realized that she should have stayed in Japan. Although the social environment can get intense at times, she can be herself In Latin America, North America, she was forced to be someone she wasn't. Plus, with a hostile living environment, she slowly learned to hate Japanese people. However, living in Japan for several months, she gradually returned to the person she used to be. Moreover, she relearned to love living in Japan, liking Japanese people. Also, she was finally surrounded by people who protect and take care of her, although her mother and siblings. Outside Japan, it was all about taking care of her husband and the two foreign-born children. In Japan, her parents and siblings took care of her. This last part was what she was missing and missed the most. Granted, her husband did have a lot of positive qualities. He did all the house maintenance, house repairs, so they saved a lot of money but not need to outsource that. And since he didn't micromanage anyone, she didn't feel any intense social pressure. However, there were so many things that he did that he irritated her, and sometimes she did blow up. Moreover, he's extremely difficult to communicate and live with. This is a sharp contrast with the parents and siblings. Even though they fought a lot, they were easy to communicate and live with. Moreover, with the husband, everything is one-way communication. He made all the decisions, decided what everyone around him will believe. That was a sharp contrast with the family origin, where everybody engages in two-way communication. The entire family makes decisions together. There was one more important task for Eriko that week. The immigration attorney was able to bump Eriko from on the wait list to be sworn in. As a result, she took the day off to be sworn in as a naturalized citizen. At the building, she also completed and signed her name change form. Her new first name is Erika. Her new last name is Sasaki Mizushima. This name was a nod to her birthplace in Latin America, where the last name is the father's last name followed by the mother's maiden name. Since she didn't know whether or not her citizenship paper would arrive in time for her to mail in her college admission application, she wrote down her old name. That way, changing the name at the university would be much easier. Also, Glenna used the lessons she learned from her graphic design classes to create logos for various companies. When Erika saw the front of the clinic, she saw the 3D version of Glenna's logo. Excuse me. Next, when they went to the studio, she saw the logo directly above the front door. And then when they went to Chucky's restaurant, they saw the logo there as well. So, that Labor Day weekend, Peodar and Kim celebrated their citizenship at Chucky's restaurant. Since this was Erika's day, they had Erika decide where to eat, so she chose Asian fusion. They dined in the dining hall. The price was still expensive but reasonable. At this time, Chucky let them know that they had stepped down as head chef to focus more on being co-owner. That way they can focus on their other ventures, such as their own cooking show for a local television station. The pilot episode got the green light, and the 20-episode contract had just been signed, and they congratulated each other. And Chucky corrected them by congratulating Erika on her citizenship. After they said, "Itadakimasu," thank you for the meal, they started eating dinner. Although this was a weekend, Erika kept herself busy by studying for the next college entrance exam during the evenings. She also worked on cleaning up her apartment in preparation for her mother and aunt's visit. Also, Agnes stopped by to pick up the rent. Agnes apologized for not showing up at the end of the previous month. She finally found the right tenant to live in their father's duplex. They were a mature couple who were born in Hawaii. They co-owned the family's pineapple plantation. They started their married life in California, raised 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. Several years later, they returned to Hawaii and spent the next several years there. They just sold their share of the farm to their eldest brother. Currently, they decided to be in semi-retirement in California. Both of their daughters are married with children of their own. While their daughters stay behind in Hawaii to help run the family farm, their son lives in California and is self-employed. As soon as they saw her father's Japanese garden, they were sold and offered to buy the duplex from him. Her father carefully told them no. On Sunday at the Buddhist temple, a man appeared. Chucky introduced them to their partner, Alex Lundqvist. My apologies, I'm not good at Swedish last names, so please feel free to correct my pronunciation. Alex is also mixed race. Their indigenous California ancestors are the same as Chucky's, the Esalen tribe. If I do remember, I'm going to include a link so you get to know more about this specific tribe in California. They met at various indigenous events throughout California. Chiaki said that they have gotten back together and are working on how to navigate their new life together as a straight couple. At this time, Chiaki said that their preferred gender is she, her. Eriko immediately congratulated and gave both of them a hug. At Chiaki's parents' home, Chiaki proceeded to teach them how to make sushi rice using brown rice and brown sugar. Since Chiaki's mother had a pressure cooker, the brown rice took less time to prepare. Eriko made a mental note to get a pressure cooker from her father's house. For now, Eriko will have to cook rice the day before, so she won't have to waste time waiting for it to finish cooking before she makes her own dinner. After Chiaki made homemade sushi vinegar, she seasoned the rice. Then she prepared the vegetables for sushi maki. After putting the greens together and rolling the rice in nori, seaweed paper, she cut them in 8 equal pieces, gave each person a piece, then they rolled additional ones for everyone to take home. On Monday, they spent the day attending various events throughout the Bay Area. There was a 5K run. Before they boarded the yacht, Eriko took some motion sickness medicine so she could enjoy the trip without worrying about feeling nauseous. They finished the day by attending a symphony concert. This was a much needed break from work and study, plus it gave her a chance to meet more people from the local community. By Tuesday, she was well rested, recharged her batteries, and got enough fresh air to get ready for the rest of September's internships. So again, any constructive criticisms, questions, comments, asking for clarification, let me know, and I shall see you next time. Take care.